Oh, no. Paulito Levesque McMahon did the one thing we asked him not to do again. We'll talk about what that is in this upload and why a lot of fans are not happy with Mr. 3H's. Matthew Riddle has finally made the big change that many say, including BC, should have been done a long time ago while he was still with WWE, but at least he's making the change now. We'll talk about what that is in this upload. Charlie Flair just went into surgery. She left a long message. You would have thought this was like a retirement speech. And the showing, the outpouring of love and prayers and all of that, you would have thought this was like career ending. Wild, but we'll talk all about it. And a couple of big names are confirmed for the Royal Rumble. We'll talk about who those individuals are and do they have a realistic chance to actually win the whole thing. Speaking of the Rumble, we'll talk CM Punk, big interview that he cut last night. And when he was asked about Rollins and Rollins not liking him, he was very honest. One word, and he means it. We'll talk about what that is and why he believes Rollins doesn't like him. And he also dropped another line about his Survivor Series return, how he was able to keep it a secret. And a lot of fans think it was a direct jab over to the youngest of Bucks from Alternative Entertainment Wrestling. So there's a lot to talk about. If you don't mind, I'm going to get a big swig of my Dunkin' extra coffee, and we're going to talk about all this and a lot more. We're going to do it right now. Let's start off with 3H's. I won't make you wait, right? Why are a lot of fans not happy with 3H's? Well, this is the deal. And some of you guys might not even know that this was a thing, but it was. So on the Peacock streaming service last night, there was a show called, and I didn't catch it, but it was a show called The Preview Special. I don't know what they're previewing. To this moment, I don't know what they are previewing. BC, maybe a little bit of research on the subject, right? Well, maybe. Guess what? I don't care enough. I don't care what they're previewing. I don't. I got the story. I know why fans are upset, and that's all that matters right now, and I ain't even going to take too much time on it. So there's a preview special, and they were hyping up a Paul Levesque McMahon 3H's big announcement. And they were really hyping it up, and it was gaining traction, actually, right? This was announced days ago. And each day, almost by the hour, more hype was going into it. Now, early yesterday morning, two big announcements were made, right? Number one, WWE is going to merge with UFC in terms of marketing. They're going to be under one umbrella, which means mass layoffs, firings, terminate. That's all coming, trust me. Along with the talent releases in April, this is going to be massive, unfortunately. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs, all of that. But business will be booming for WWE and Endeavor. This is going to be a big deal, merging them together. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, one of the ones spearheading the entire deal. Vincent Kennedy McMahon also spearheading more global PLEs and more events in the future, we're hearing. With the big announcement yesterday morning that Money in the Bank will be going to Canada this year. That goes with the Elimination Chamber in Australia, Battle in Berlin in Germany, and of course which one does France have? I think it's Backlash in France. So all these global events spearheaded again by Vince. He's big on that. He was big on that before he went into this role more behind the scenes. He was always headed that way, and now he's just taking it to another level. He sees a big market globally. Get out of the U.S. We've already liquidated the U.S. The big money is globally. McMahon was seeing that anyway. I think Saudi Arabia really clicked something within him, and something like a lot of green, a lot of money. And he knows. And then they did the experiment with Australia a few years ago. Was that 2018, 2019? Super Showdown, something like that. And he saw the money brought in there. So now Vince is taking this whole thing global. The point is, that was another big announcement. It was made just an hour after the WWE UFC marketing merger announcement. So Kennedy McMahon, the Dana Whites, the suits and ties of Endeavor, they've been really busy behind the scenes. And those were big announcements. Now, BC made a couple of uploads yesterday. One of them, at least, had to do with those announcements. And big thank you to all you guys, man. That's headed toward 5,000 hits already. So I appreciate you guys for taking the time listening to those big announcements and my thoughts on them. But that was in the morning. Those announcements were made. Okay, a lot of the fans, especially casual fans, they don't really care. Cool, Canada's getting an event and they don't care about the marketing announcement, right? So they were just waiting for the show later that night on Peacock, the preview special where Triple H is going to have a big announcement, right? That's what the fan was waiting for. Wait till you hear what it was. Paul Levesque McMahon's announcement last night was nothing. He didn't make an announcement. There was nothing. They just reiterated the announcement from earlier in the day that Money in the Bank is going to Canada this year. That was it. They hyped up a massive announcement and they knew it was gaining traction and they didn't do anything about it or say anything about it to try to calm down expectations because they knew that was just going to make people watch, which is what they want. Peacock's happy. WWE then becomes happier because Peacock's happier and everybody's happy because people are watching. I get it. Trust me, BC, they're not going to lower expectations. If people want to assume something, let them. They didn't tell you what it was, so it's not WWE's fault. I get the business side of it, trust me. But don't be so shocked when those same fans are now pissed off because you hyped up this announcement and it ended up being something that was already announced many, many hours earlier. And that's what was happened here. So I'll tell you this, man. If I was a younger fan and I was really hyped up to see the preview special and I knew that Triple H was going to make a big announcement, right? You're talking to your friends on the phone. Oh, yeah, but okay, I'm going to watch too, but I'll call you afterwards. Yeah, man. I don't know what the big announcement could be. A wrestler. I don't know, man. Maybe we're going to get a big Royal Rumble. And I don't know. We'll see. I'll call you afterwards, man. Fuck you, there was no announcement. It was the one thing we asked. He's done this a couple of times before, and he's following the Tony Khan special, right? If you don't know what the Tony Khan special is, it's every time a rating hits really, really low. Tony Khan he's for Alternative Entertainment Wrestling, AEW, by the way. He's the leader of that promotion, and he would go to a I have a special announcement on next week's Dynamite mode. And of course, that's going to generate interest and you're going to pop a rating, or at least more than you did the week previous, because you're getting people's interest, right? Well, what could have been? I don't want to watch this show, but I do want to know what this is. So he would pop a rating with that. There was times he would hit over 1 million by just saying, I have a special announcement. The problem was his announcements were never special. They were never anything big. I have a big announcement. It's not big. It's something like a reality show. That's what he announced one time. He just announced that they're going to have a reality show. Like Total Bellas or Total Divas. You put that in a press release. You don't say you have a big announcement in prime time on your flagship show, but that's what he would do time after time. What happened was the boy that cried wolf story, right? You do something so many times, but you're really bullshitting. Well, over time, you're going to lose the audience. And now when he does it, he can't even crack 1 million. Triple H started to do that a couple, 2-3 times. He stopped for a while, and then he just did it again with last night's preview special. A lot of fans pissed off. A lot of fans overseas. A lot of fans in different countries. They really thought that they were going to get a big event. And it was just like, yeah, no, Money in the Bank's going to Canada. Well, Canadian fans are pretty happy then. But that was already announced. So a lot of other countries are like, all right, they announced that, get that out of the way. That's close to the US, so they just announced that in a press release. We're going to be the big announcement, right? But if you can't live up to it, just don't. Don't even try. Don't say big announcements. Stop with that, man. The expectations are going to be there, and it's justified. I don't blame fans at all to be thinking about what it could be. And if it's not exactly what they wanted, too bad. I agree. But if it's not even an announcement that's worthy of a press release, or it's an announcement that was already made, rethink it. Rethink saying you have a big announcement any longer, because you don't. Oh, that's it. That's it. But, you try to tell somebody 1,000 times. You can lead the horse to water. You can't force him to drink it. Also, guys, Matt Riddle. Listen to this one. So Matt Riddle recently cut an interview, and this is a quote. He says, "I am no longer going to play the goofball on TV. This is an opportunity for me to show what I can really do in the ring. I'm no longer going to play the goofy guy on TV." Who has been asking for this for the longest time? BC, and I know many of you. RK Bro was becoming nauseating. All of the riding around on the scooter, everything is a joke. Everything he does, he's got a grin on his face. The sad part is, serious Matt Riddle was the best Matt Riddle. When he was serious, he was so much more believable, realistic. He went to another level. The mannerisms, the expressions, everything he did was another level when he was serious. He just got better. I mean, you could see it, you could view it, you could feel it. And unfortunately, it was too few and far in between. I actually say that about The Miz too, but that's a separate type of category. But Matt Riddle, when he is serious, man, I'm a supporter. When it's just goofy Matt Riddle and his scooter, I get the comedy. I get why people will giggle and like Matthew Riddle and buy his little 420 shirts. I get it. BC and a lot of you guys, man, it was becoming nauseating. And it's really cool. One of the coolest things that I can do on this platform is speak so truthfully. And then later on, the wrestlers themselves go, "Oh yeah, that's true." Like Daniel Bryan being added into Roman Reigns and Edge's WrestleMania match. I told you guys how it doesn't make sense. There's no reason for it. This is just muddying the waters. This feels misplaced. Daniel Bryan did not earn that opportunity. There was just some cries out in the wrestling community, and all of a sudden he gets chucked in there. And then Daniel Bryan, to this very day, is Bryan Danielson. He says, "It felt so awkward. There was times in that match I didn't know why I was in there. Still, I don't know why I was in that match. Probably shouldn't have been." I mean, he has been so brutally honest ever since that match. Matt Riddle, I've called from day one for him to be more serious. This goofy thing will only take you so far, and it's not going to be memorable. When it's all said and done, it will not be memorable to most. To hear him say, "Yeah, this goofy thing's got to stop. Now I have to showcase what I can truly do and be." That's so cool. That's so cool, man. That's what made, this is no ego at all. That's what makes BC the very best at what I do on this platform. Critiquing, reviewing in the most amplified of measures on this platform. The most brutally honest way imaginable. But it is for the best of the individuals, the companies, and the industry. And that's what we speak on this channel. Everything's just truth. Everything is what is going to make it better. That's all. That's our mission statement on the platform. Making all of it better. From Charlotte Flair. Right? We just don't critique just to knock down. We critique to make better, to build. From Charlotte Flair to a Matthew Riddle. It's so cool for Matt Riddle to go, "You know what? I don't want to be that. I'm better if I'm this." And it's exactly what we've been saying. A serious Matt Riddle is best for business. And if you bring that serious Matt Riddle back to WWE, that's better business. WWE likes to rely on the old gimmicks because they know they can get a pop. You just saw R-Truth come back. It's the same R-Truth, right? And he makes you giggle. He's funny. The things with I get it. But that will make WWE, doesn't matter if it's Vincent Kennedy or Levesque McMahon, it'll make them not want to even try anything new because they just have that. What's up? We've been doing What's Up for how long? How long has the New Day ran their shtick into a brick wall? Years now. I like all of them, right? Big E and Kofi more so. But it's sad. The New Day and the trumpet playing and the New Day rocks. Now you see them and they try to get the crowd to do it. Half the crowd isn't even involved. They don't want to try anything new because this is what they know you as. So hopefully if Matt Riddle ever comes back to WWE, I hope that they don't just rely on the comedy gimmick. But really good to hear Matt Riddle say enough of the goofball. I'm not going to be that guy anymore. A couple of names for the Royal Rumble. Some big names, actually. But do they really have a chance to win this? So for the men, Shinsuke Nakamura is confirmed for the Royal Rumble. And for the ladies, Becky Lynch confirms that she will be in the Royal Rumble. Now for both, start with the guys. Nakamura, okay, he's been in this thing with Cody. At first, it was actually a really good story. Now they're just kind of having him replay this whole Tron thing and the messages. And then, I'm starting to feel redundancy with Cody and Shinsuke. It started off so good. I was really into this. I was like, you can do 2 or 3 matches. I don't mind. But Nakamura is putting in some of his best work of his WWE career anyway. So this will be big for Naka. He doesn't have a chance to win this. Not even a chance. What are you going to do? Nakamura versus Roman Reigns? And if Randy Orton wins over Roman at Royal Rumble, are you going Randy Orton versus Shinsuke Nakamura? Seth Rollins versus Nakamura. We just did that like 3 times over the last several months. Get to Seth Rollins versus Nakamura at WrestleMania. And if Punk was to get it beforehand, somehow, Punk versus Nakamura, Battle of the GT. I mean, that was at least teased. Remember, Shinsuke delivered a GTS to like Tozawa or somebody at the top of the ramp. But that's not WrestleMania main event worthy. I'm going to say it right now, not a chance. Not that he's not capable of doing it, by the way, but booking-wise, there's not a chance. But should be a big presence in the Rumble, no doubt. Becky Lynch for the ladies, on the other hand. Well, let's weigh our options. You got to believe Rhea Ripley is not dropping that title to Mania, so you're going to have to do Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Problem is, they just ruined that. They had Nia Jax literally squash Becky Lynch with the Yoko ass splash. Just ass crushing Becky's lungs. So Becky Lynch was just defeated just handedly by Nia Jax. Rhea's already whooped Nia Jax. And like 3 other, in one match, she beat Nia Jax and some other powerhouses. So that doesn't make sense. In a few months is WrestleMania. Becky Lynch somehow now gets a title match against, so you couldn't beat Nia, but now we're supposed to get pumped up for Rhea Becky. I don't see how that's possible. Not with Jade Cargill in this match and Sasha Banks or AJ Lee. I do expect one of them at least to be in this match. I'm not saying they should win, but with all of these names, Becky Lynch versus Rhea, and then if not Rhea and Becky, which again just doesn't make sense, you would have to go Becky versus Io. No, Io, there's got to be something more for Io, not just Becky Lynch, man. Io versus like Bayley even. You would have to do the storyline correctly though with the damage control imploding. I really would like to see something cool like Sasha and AJ versus Io. They could go Jade Cargill as a powerhouse going for Io. I think they're building Jade Cargill, Nia Jax. That's why Nia squashed Becky. They're going to really build up Nia to be this diabolical badass thrashing heel. And then here comes badass hero face Jade Cargill. I don't know. Where am I going with Becky Lynch? I don't know. I mean, there's more of a chance than Nakamura winning. And at least Becky would have a decent match, obviously, with Rhea and Io. I'll give that one a little more of a chance. I don't know if many of us need to see Becky winning the 2024 Rumble. A little more of a chance than the men's Nakamura, but not that great. I don't think Becky's going to be the person. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But those are the 2 names, man. Pretty big names. Eligible for or confirmed for the Rumble. Go CM Punk. Listen to this. This is twofold. CM Punk's interview last night. Check this out. So CM Punk CM Punk was asked, why do you think Rollins hates you? Why does Rollins not like you, like, at all? And CM Punk was very honest. In fact, he says, honestly, you got to believe it's jealousy. He wants that spot. Like, we worked together 10 years ago, and it was just, that was this, whether he likes it or not. And I'm paraphrasing just a little bit. He basically said this exactly word for word. He says, like it or not, it's guys like me that pave the way for Seth. So, of course, they want to be in that spot. So I would have to think jealousy. And I know that he says, I know that might upset some people, but it's just me being honest. He's jealous, and he's basically saying he wants my spot. He wants to be me. And sometimes that draws people to not like you, right? In any spectrum of life. A lot of people that don't like you is probably because they would love to be you. They would love to be in your position. They would love to have what you have, and they just don't, so they don't like you. Yeah, that's in which case, poke those buttons. Screw with them. You know what I mean? That's so Punk is going to go that route, and I don't mind that at all. And Seth will keep doing what he does, and that's what's going to make this story so good, and hopefully one of the main events at WrestleMania. But it was something else that Punk said that really got people talking, and it was about his surprise at Survivor Series. How was he able to keep it so secret? And CM Punk says, and I quote, "You just don't leak stuff." CM Punk said that's when the magic happens, when you keep it close to the vest, when you don't leak stuff. That's when business is best. He made sure a couple of times to make sure that was known, right? When you don't leak stuff, that's when the magic happens. Of course, if you guys know in AEW, the big problem that Punk had was he believed that the Young Bucks were leaking a lot to the Meltzers and such in the pro wrestling world. And to go a little bit farther than just the Young Bucks, he believes that there was other people that were kind of saying things to the outer spectrum of AEW. And he felt that that's BS. Keep it in-house. Keep it closer. If there's an issue, come to me and this and that. So he thinks that too many people were... And that's been a concern in AEW, right? A lot of people have said that one of the biggest problems in that promotion is people leak everything. It's a very mark type atmosphere, where the wrestlers are working hand in hand with like podcasters and insiders, reporters, journalists of pro wrestling. And they're basically one of the same. So Punk's a little bit old school and he can't run like that. And that was one of his biggest issues over there. So a lot of people kind of connected the dots, right? You just don't leak stuff. That's why it was a big moment. That's why it was magical. You don't leak stuff. That's how I was brought up in the business. That's when the true magic happens. I don't know. Are fans reaching and thinking that was a jab to the Bucks? If they are, I don't blame them. It's an easy reach to make. That was the whole problem over there. And he went right to it was magic because you just don't leak stuff. Because here we were able to keep it a secret. Because that's how I do business. And because of that, we had magic. I don't know. It's not a far-fetched idea to think that was a jab over to the Bucks. And hey, I mean, that was an interview where you think it would be a nothing burger because WWE was conducting it actually. And he was just like, he was chilling in his office studio. You saw the little AJ Lee figures. And he was just like chilling, just being honest. So, I don't know. But a lot of fans did take that and go, I know who that was to. Sip of coffee, and then we'll go on to, where are we going? Charlie? Oh, by the way, guys, before we get to our next story, we were just talking about Matt Riddle. I just got word that Riddle actually showed up to New Japan Pro Wrestling. A debut. They just got Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth recently. NJPW, Matt Riddle issued a challenge to Tanahashi at New Year Dash. So I'll have to find out more about that. We are currently in the process of recording, obviously, but that's a little bit of breaking news. So I'll have to find out more about that. But from what I am hearing is Matt Riddle has shown up to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He has laid down a challenge to Tanahashi. I'll try to find out more for you guys. All right, next story in a second. And lastly, Charlie Flair, Charlotte, just undergoing surgery within the last 24 hours for that blown knee, MCL, ACL, meniscus, all the things we believe. So Charlie, either before or after surgery, she left a long post. I'll read some, if maybe all. This is what Charlie says, Charlotte Flair, after surgery or right before. She says, and I quote, "Family, friends, and fans, thank you for all the..." You would think this is a retirement speech. In the way that people are, the wrestlers are responding to this, you would think this is like a career ending or retirement. Like, they're treating her like a real queen. Like, well, pump the brakes. We're all wishing her the best. We already did on this channel. Speedy recovery, but not too speedy, right? Use this time to better yourself, better your character, come back, hopefully connect and captivate everybody, right? Use this time wisely. So we wish her the best, but I mean, it's a knee surgery. Many wrestlers have had it. I don't remember this much pomp and circumstance, this much hoopla, this much like attention to one knee surgery. This is wild, man. Charlotte's leaving a retirement speech, basically, but not quite. Charlie says, "Family, friends, and fans, thank you for all the positive, beautiful messages and flowers. I feel supported in every way. It has taken me a few days and many, many tears to wrap my head around everything. I happen to be an expert in overthinking, and this is the first time I've ever been truly scared. Scared of the unknown, but also feeling like I'm losing what I'm most proud of, and that's being an athlete. I don't like showing physical weakness, and this has left me feeling exposed. A process I know I will grow from, but a very new one to me. This was a huge blow to me mentally and obviously physically going into 2024. 2023 was a roller coaster, and I am trying to stay positive. And maybe this was the only way to stop, refocus, rebuild, and eventually conquer again. I can't thank this year's SmackDown locker room enough. I enjoyed every second, prayer emoji, and will be rooting from the sidelines, muscle emoji. I have been a bad guy for most of my career, but this year was different for me. I cherished every hug, high five, and fist bump this year at live events, and for the first time in my career felt comfortable in my own boots being the good guy. I learned so much as a performer and plan on starting right where I left off. I promise I'm going to work 24/7 over the next 9 months to come back the best version of the queen you've ever seen." Stop right there, pause. Because we heard reports that she wanted to be at WrestleMania in that ring in some way or form. I gotta believe that's still gonna happen in some way. Not wrestling, but knowing Charlie, she's gonna have that moment where she's in the middle of the ring. Maybe she snaps a crutch over somebody's dome piece. But she says here, 9 months. Take the full 9 months. There's no reason to rush back. Give the locker room a chance to get a top spot. Seriously, regroup. Everything you just said. Refocus all of it. Take the full 9 months. We'll see you around Survivor Series. This WWE thing, it ain't going nowhere. I promise I'm going to work 24/7 and be the best version of the queen you've ever seen. Success, this is in quotes, success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life, as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. Wisdom from Charlie. Climbing my own mountain will be my greatest test yet. Thank you for all the love. Here is to 2024. Love, Ashley, a.k.a. Charlotte. And a photo of her in the hospital. But it looks like it's right before surgery. So the wrestling community, whoa. I mean, you would think this is career ending. This is on the level of like Big E almost. Remember when he, like, the whole neck injury in like the wrestling world was like rallying around him, because that's one of the injury that you're probably not going to wrestle again, unfortunately. I love Big E. That sucks to say. But I mean, just listen. This is just some of it, guys. Bianca Belair, we love you. 18,000 exclamation points. Slight exaggeration. Bianca Belair. Who's this? Is that Nikita Lyons, I believe? Showing the heart emojis, the pray emojis. Jade Cargill, hearts and praise. Dustin Rhodes, we love you, hun. Tiffany Stratton, heart emoji. Maybe a tear emoji, too. So she's crying or some. Indy Hartwell, wishing you a speedy recovery. Nikki Garcia, formerly the Bella Twin. Beautiful Ashley, sending you lots of light, strength, and love. You got this, Queen. Asuka, I love you. Heart emoji. Stacy Keebler, this is heartwarming and beautiful, just like you, sending you so much love. Alexa Bliss, wishing you a speedy recovery. Exclamation points. Heart, heart, heart. I mean, and there's so much more. Diamond Dallas Page, what a beautiful, heartfelt post to your legion of followers and friends, Ashley. I know you'll come back stronger than ever, DDP. Of course, it's a knee injury. What the heck is going on? I've never seen anything like this. I mean, there are a lot of people drinking that Kool-Aid. Oh, wow, man. Everyone relax, man. Rhea Ripley, actually. This is what Rhea said. I almost missed this one, so I want to insert this into the conversation. Rhea Ripley, actually. This is a quote. We clash to a point that I don't know who is going to come out on top because we leave everything we have in that ring, and it's real special to find someone that you have that connection with in the ring. She's definitely my kryptonite. That was like a run-on sentence, by the way. She's my number one challenger. She's the person that I'm going to be fighting for the rest of my career until one of us is gone, says Rhea Ripley. Damn. Is there more that I don't know? I mean, I was told this is just a knee injury, but I understand every time you go under the knife, there's a risk and all that. And you know what it does tell you? It tells you that she is everything I always told you guys. Ashley Flair is a sweetheart. IRL, a sweetheart. Well liked by everybody in the lot. Well, most. We've heard some stories, and we can even confirm some wrestlers just did. So I can't say everybody, but a lot of people, man. A lot of people enjoy being around her. And yeah, everything I've heard, most of what I've heard, she's a sweetheart. And that's why I always say when we do our critiques of Charlotte Flair, it's Charlotte Flair. When I say there's no connection with a lot of us fans still to this day, it's Charlotte Flair. Not to be confused with Ashley. You know, no doubt a solid base she has fan-wise. No question. And salute. But there's a lot of us that need another layer, just like Roman Reigns, right? He always had followers. He always had his fans. But a lot of us felt there was more there. There's potential. Like, you got to find a way to tap into it. Is it just going heel? Or is it going heel and doing something really epic? Thankfully, Roman was able to do such. Went heel and found an epic character and really good storylines going forward. So with Roman, it worked. With Charlotte, for a lot of us, we're still trying to find that. She's still trying to find it. And at least she's going to, right? She says in her message, like, I will come back better, refocused. You know, think it through. Use this time to really think about how I can captivate more. Right? What can I do to take this character to another level where that part of the crowd that doesn't even want me on TV, they're going to be going, oh, I can't wait to see Charlotte, man. She's coming up. You can do it. There was a time period where a lot of fans did not even want to see Roman Reigns on TV. That's how bad it was. It wasn't a fun boo. It was, please, no, not this guy again on another WrestleMania main event, on another pay-per-view. This guy is ending SmackDown. This guy is on Raw. Stop. Leave, please. And then it switched. Things were done correctly, and all of a sudden, oh, Roman Reigns, he feels special. This dude comes out. Everybody's got their phones out. Everybody is in awe. From the theme music to the character changes to the storylines that he had, especially with Sammy, the bloodline start of it. So it can be done. So we hope, we really do, that this time off is going to be executed properly. And we wish her the best. A lot of love showing, a lot of love is being shown toward Charlie. Again, it's a knee injury. I'm just not. I've covered this for many years. I've been involved in sports for decades, and this is a lot for a knee injury. But I mean, if that's what it takes to get Charlie through it, then hey, salute, whatever it is, man, to feel that strength, to know that you have that support, and not just on a private type spectrum, but publicly, to have these people showing you that love. If that's what it takes, then hey, salute, but she's fine, guys. Right now, Andrade's probably tickling her. She's giggling. Who knows? But she's fine. Made it out just fine. Routine surgery. And again, we wish her all the best, and we want to see the best version of Charlie going forward. I didn't see Becky Lynch. I didn't see Becky Lynch leave a message yet. Maybe she did. It's not anywhere where I'm seeing, though. Maybe she doesn't want to break Kate. Right? That's what I mean. That could just be a little private message. Hey, Charlie, a little text or whatever. You don't have to. Rhea Ripley, take that message and send it to her privately. We don't want to know that you're this loving, cuddly bear. You're supposed to be Rhea. BC, they're human, man. Yes, but you have to have some kayfabe. Wrestling will never work if you completely kill it off. We can't keep doing this, guys. You can't claim you're in a storyline and you're in a feud and you hate each other, and then that night you're taking pictures at a steak dinner. I still remember that. Eddie Kingston and Claudio Cesaro. You really believe that Eddie Kingston does not like Cesaro. And then fucking that night, the referee's posting a picture of all of them at a steak dinner. I'm like, okay, all right. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, that huge angle where Braun threw Roman off of the truck docking area and he had to be ambulanced off. And then he flips the ambulance. And then, the next week, they're overseas or some country, and they're all sightseeing together. You got Roman and Braun taking pictures together. I'm like, can't you just care about it a little bit? I'm not saying you got to take it like Ric Flair level, where Ric Flair would not, if he was in a feud, he would not only be in a different hotel, he would be in a different town a lot of the times. That's how real he wanted to make it. I know it's 2024. Kayfabe is almost dead, but you can't completely kill it. So, little Rhea's message, a little more private would have been nice. But all the love and support and much respect over to Charlie, man. You never want to see injuries. You never want to see somebody go under the knife. But it's a part of the biz. It's a part of being an athlete. And these wrestlers absolutely are. We wish her the best. I think that's going to do it now. We went over our allotted time, or at least my time, because there's a lot to do and I got to get to it. So until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we are out. BC saying check you. Peace.